the quiet village of Nkembe, there was a small mud house at the very edge of the road, the one everyone avoided after dark. They said if you knocked on the door after midnight, you would hear a woman's voice whisper your name, and by morning you'd be found dead near the river. But one night, a young man decided to find out the truth for himself, and what he saw behind that door, no one ever forgot. Many years ago, before street lights and phone torches, the nights in Nkembe were thick and silent. In that same village lived Mama Adana, a widow known for her quiet ways. She sold roasted corn in the daytime, greeted everyone with a smile, and went home before sunset. But she lived alone. No husband, no child, no visitor. Her house was small, one lantern, one chair, and a door that everyone said must never be knocked after midnight. Children whispered about it. Adults pretended not to care. But everyone, even the chief, stayed away. One boy once asked his mother, "Mama, why can't anyone knock on her door?" The mother hissed, because those who tried never came back. One market day, a stranger arrived, tall, handsome, wearing a city shirt and a curious face. His name was Obi. He was a traveler who had come to Nkembe for palm oil trade. But when he heard the villagers whispering about Mama Adana, he laughed. "You people still believe in old women's tales?" he said. "I will knock on her door tonight and prove nothing will happen." The villagers shouted, "No, don't try it." Even the chief warned, "Young man, curiosity has buried many brave souls." But Obi was stubborn. He had seen the house during the day, peaceful, quiet. What danger could there be in an old woman's hut? That night, as the moon rose pale and round, Obi took a lantern and a stick and walked alone toward Mama Adana's compound. As he approached the house, the air changed. The crickets stopped singing. Even the wind refused to blow. He reached the small wooden door, the one everyone feared. Just before he raised his hand to knock, an old woman's voice came from the darkness behind him. "Traveler, don't knock on that door." He turned boo. It was Mama Adana herself, her eyes glowing faintly under the moonlight. Obi smiled nervously. "Mama, why? What is behind the door?" She stared at him for a long moment, then said softly, "Some doors protect you better when they stay closed." Then she turned and vanished into the night. Obi blinked. She was gone. No footsteps, no shadow. He laughed nervously. "These villagers have made me imagine things." Then he did the unthinkable. He raised his hand and knocked 3 times. Knock, knock, knock. At first, silence. Then a voice, soft and trembling, came from inside. "Who is it?" Obi froze. He hadn't expected anyone to answer. The voice spoke again, louder this time. "Who dares disturb my rest?" Suddenly, the ground beneath him shook. The lantern in his hand flickered and went out. In the darkness, Obi heard footsteps approaching from inside the hut, slow, heavy, dragging. Then the door creaked open. A faint red light spilled out, and standing there was Mama Adana again. But this time, her eyes were pure fire, her skin pale as ash, and her shadow stretched long like a serpent. Obi stumbled backward, trembling. "Mama, what are you?" She whispered. "You knocked when the spirits sleep." Behind her, Obi saw movement, faces pressed against the walls, ghostly shapes whispering. They looked like villagers, men, women, children, all with hollow eyes. Then he recognized one. It was a young hunter who went missing 2 years ago. Obi screamed, but the spirits began to circle him, whispering in voices that echoed through the trees. Knock, knock, knock! He tried to run, but his feet felt heavy, his body frozen. Then Mama Adana pointed at him. You came to prove there was no spirit. Now you will become one. The red light swallowed him whole. At dawn, the villagers found the lantern and Obi's stick lying outside Mama Adana's door. But Obi himself was gone. The old woman's house stood silent, smoke rising faintly from her chimney. The chief sent 2 brave men to check inside. When they opened the door, the room was empty, except for one thing: a fresh drawing on the wall, the shape of a young man's face. That same night, people swore they heard a third voice whispering whenever the wind passed by Mama Adana's house. And from that day on, even strangers were told never knock on her door after midnight. Months later, Mama Adana's hut caught fire during a thunderstorm. After the fire went out, the villagers entered what was left. They found no body, only ashes and a small clay pot with 3 human hearts inside, perfectly preserved. The oldest elder in the village said quietly, "She was not human. She was the gatekeeper of restless souls. That door was not her home. It was a portal." The people trembled. They rebuilt the road far from her house, and from that day, anyone who passed that spot removed their slippers and whispered, "Forgive us, Mama Adana." Dear viewers, remember this: some mysteries are not meant to be solved. Some doors are closed for our protection. Curiosity without wisdom leads to destruction. As the elders say, when the drumbeat changes at night, the wise dancer pauses. What lesson did you learn from this story? Would you knock on that door after midnight? Tell me in the comments below. Like this video if it gave you chills. Share it with someone who loves African mystery stories. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next folktale that will keep you up at night.